Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. I'm SocietySucks and today I'm checking out Is There a Good Reason for Not Voting by Jay and Mark. In my own opinion, there's really only one good reason to not vote, and that's if you know absolutely nothing about politics in your own country. Because then, if you don't know anything, how are you gonna decide who to vote for? Casting a random vote is just dumb. So that's the only reason that I can think of. The only valid reason, at least. But maybe he's going to come up with some more that I agree with.
So, you're one of the 42% of people in the UK who don't intend to vote in this year's general election.
42% is quite a lot.
Maybe you're less than 18 years old, in which case your time will come.
Or maybe you're in prison.
Or maybe you're the Queen. If you're the Queen, it's your parliament and you're not allowed to vote.
That still
obvious.
leaves a whopping 13 million people who are eligible to vote, but have said they're not going to.
The press call it voter apathy, but that term implies that non-voters are lazy people who would rather stay in bed than walk 5 minutes to
Not
the polling
necessarily.
station.
The truth is even sadder. A lot of people are informed, passionate and clued up, but have chosen for their own reasons not to join in. What legitimate, decent,
Some people also
well-thought-out
just don't
reasons
care
could they
about
possibly
politics.
have?
Some people might think that their vote is just one vote. It won't matter.
It's fun to fantasize and imagine that you're one.
But that's the thing. With that kind of mindset, many people have it. They're like, well, one vote, that won't matter. It won't change anything. But if you have a lot of people with that mindset, that's a lot of votes, which could have changed things and would have mattered.
Vote could tip the balance and change the result of a general election.
That's actually one of the reasons why I'm not a fan of democracy. Because if not everybody votes, the vote is already skewed. We have two parties, Party A, Party B. Let's go with that. Let's say most of the people who choose to not vote would have been in support of Party A. Most of the people who went to vote support Party B. Party B will win, but Party A could have won. They didn't because people decided just to not vote. I think you understand my point. I'm explaining this horribly, but you get it.
Realistically, of course, that never happens, except one time in 1910 when Henry Duke Baron Merivale won the seat of Exeter by a margin of 1. Much more likely, you live in a constituency that's nowhere near as marginal as that, and it's pretty obvious who's going to win. We have a far from perfect first-past-the-post process for picking future politicians, and it can feel like it's f***ing pointless.
This is especially true if you like one of the smaller parties best.
Yeah.
And that brings us to reason number 1 why people don't vote.
One of the main things I'm not a fan of as well is the fact that in many countries it's basically split between two parties. Like in the US you have the Republicans and the Democrats. Here you have the Labour and Conservative parties. I mean, this was 10 years ago, so maybe it's different in the UK now, I don't know. But yeah, small parties, there's usually just no point voting for them because not like they're gonna get even the 10%. Like the Liberal Democrat here, they got almost 9%. But look at all the others, they barely got around 1%, which is nothing.
My favourite has no chance.
Okay, fine. Maybe
Doesn't mean you
can't
shouldn't
change
vote
who
for them,
an
though.
MP is going to be, but you can change their behaviour. How?
The way parties behave in government is down to far more than just the election results. It's down to the election details.
The morning after the general election, all the stats of how many voters voted for whom and where are there to be seen on the internet. And the party leaders are watching very carefully.
Every vote for a small party is a vote taken away from one of the big ones.
Exactly.
And the big ones will do everything they can to try to win you back. Don't believe me? Just look at the Green Party.
Before the recent surge of support for the Greens, Labour had no intention of renationalising the rail network, but afterwards they did. Where do you suppose they got that idea?
It's the same for purple, patriotic, pound-pushing potty-mouths UKIP.
The more votes anti-immigration party UKIP get, the more Labour and the Tories move immigration up the agenda.
Well done, UKIP voters.
Perhaps it's
Okay, I'm not sure how it is in your country, but in my country, a certain party, which has had the majority for I don't even know how long, at least 8 years, if not longer, probably longer than a decade, they still got the majority. Well, not really. They got the most votes. They were the single most voted for party. However, they don't fully control the government anymore because the second highest voted party has a coalition with some other smaller parties. They're basically working together, to a certain extent, obviously. So even though those smaller parties can't do anything on their own, the second highest party actually kind of managed to get a majority and overtake the first highest voted party simply because they partnered up with those lower voted for ones. So even if your party, the one you want to vote for, has no chance of becoming a major player, voting for them still makes sense.
Not the smallness of your party that's stopping you from voting. Perhaps it's the opposite. Could it be you're not voting because...
My favourite's going to win anyway.
That is the dumbest argument I've ever
Seems
heard.
really obvious, but what if everyone thought the same as you? Let's say everyone in your constituency thought your MP was really safe and there was no need to vote. Think that can't happen?
It's exactly what happened in 1997 to Government Minister Michael Portillo in 1997 when he famously lost his so-called safe seat. Ha 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 ha.
Also, there's a
Why
big
would you not
difference
vote for
between
someone
winning
you
by
definitely
miles and winning
want
by
to
a hair's
keep?
breadth. If your MP gets a thumping majority, they'll be more confident about their convictions, and presumably, if you like them, that's what you want. On the other hand, if they just scrape in, they'll be forced to compromise and pander to voters who never liked
That's
them
true.
in the first place. So you see, first past the post is far
I mean,
from
democracy is a
perfect, but
flawed
there is
system
no
anyway.
such thing as a wasted vote. That's so important, I'll say it again. There
I don't
is
think
no
I have to
such
explain
thing
why.
as a wasted vote. Maybe it's not the counting system that's putting you off. Maybe, and I'm sorry to say this is the most popular reason of all, your reason is...
I hate all of them!
I
For
can
many
understand
people,
that.
After reading all the manifestos and watching all the party political broadcasts and browsing all the party websites and enduring all the TV debates, they've decided that not a single one of the parties speaks to them. And
I've been talking a lot this video, but I do have to put up a point here. If you hate every single party who you could vote for, you just choose the lesser evil. That's how politics works. At the end of the day, all of them suck. We all know this. So what do? You choose the lesser evil. You don't have to like them, you just have to hate them less than everyone else.
they don't even unhate the least worst one enough to give them a tactical vote.
Oh, well, never mind.
If this is you, rather than remove your voice completely, why not do something that's more productive and more fun?
You can vote none of the above. In some countries, that's actually a box you can tick.
That's
but
an
in
option?
Britain, you do this by spoiling your ballot.
The rules of the ballot box are strict. You put an X and nothing else to make sure that there's no chance of error or fraud.
If you put a tick, or colour the box in, or rate the candidates out of 10, or correct the spelling of the candidates' names, or put your own name and vote for yourself, or put your own name and vote for someone else, or write the lyrics to the Stonecutters song from The Simpsons,
That's called a spoilt ballot. And
Yeah,
it won't
that's
be
true.
valid. But it will be counted.
politicians will see the none of the above votes, and they're much more likely to try and win you over, and much more likely to try and fix the system if you've bothered to go out and vote.
Spoiling your ballot is an absolute worst-case scenario, last resort. But it's so much better than not voting at all. It's totally understandable why people think that there's no point in voting. But if you do go out and vote, there is one thing that you're absolutely guaranteed. When you and your friends are bitterly complaining that the country's been piddled up the doo-wop by a prime minister you hate and a party you can't stand, you can at least take solace in the ability to smugly shrug and say, well, it wasn't our fault.
Yeah, I mean, in my personal opinion, you should go vote as long as you actually checked out all the parties, what their selling points are. If you don't know anything about all the parties that you could vote for, anything about politics at all, then I can understand why you wouldn't go to vote. However, if you can at least take 1 hour to check out all the parties, their main selling points, the people who are representing those parties, you should do that. Just because. Every vote does matter. And I do think I said everything I wanted to during the video because of how much I paused and yapped. So I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please consider subscribing and leaving a like. If you want to see more reactions, check out this video right here. And with that, I'll see you in the next video.